In the depths of a February night, families across Japan throw roasted soybeans at their doorways, shouting into the darkness, "Oni wa soto, fuku wa uchi," demons out, fortune in. A parent dons a fearsome horned mask, becoming the Oni for a moment, while children hurl beans with delighted terror. This ritual, called Setsubun, marks the turning of seasons, the boundary between winter's death and spring's rebirth. But these Oni, these horned demons cast out with dried legumes, carry within them thousands of years of belief, transformation, and human fear made visible. The Oni stands at the crossroads of everything Japan has believed about the unseen world, from ancient spirits lurking in mountain shadows to Buddhist visions of hell's most brutal enforcers. Their story is not simple. It cannot be. The Oni has been too many things to too many people across too many centuries to reduce to a single tale of monsters and heroes. Instead, the Oni reveals something fundamental about how humans transform their inner darkness into external form, how we punish ourselves through divine proxy, and how even our demons might contain wisdom if we're brave enough to look. Before the Oni took the fearsome shape we recognize today, before the horns and iron clubs and tiger skin loincloths, there was only the word itself, whispered in the darkness. The character Gui, written with brush strokes that suggest something crouching, something not quite human, came to Japan from China. In Chinese, Gui meant the spirits of the dead, the ghosts that lingered when life had fled. But when this character crossed the sea to Japanese shores, something strange happened during its transformation. The Japanese word that attached itself to this foreign character was Oni, believed to derive from onu or on, meaning to hide or to conceal. This etymology tells us something crucial. The Oni was originally not a specific creature, but a category of concealment itself. Anything supernatural, anything that refused to reveal its true nature, anything that lurked beyond human understanding, could be called Oni. In the earliest texts, before Buddhism reshaped Japanese cosmology, Oni could mean a vengeful ghost, an obscure mountain deity, a spirit of place, or even a human so vicious they seemed inhuman. The 10th century dictionary, Wamyo Ruijusho, explicitly connected Oni to the concept of hiding, suggesting these beings were defined not by appearance, but by their refusal to be fully known. This original meaning lingers in the shadows of every Oni tale that followed, reminding us that these creatures represent not just external threats, but the parts of existence that refuse to show themselves plainly, that dwell in shadows, that wait until we're alone on mountain paths, or lying vulnerable in our beds. Buddhism's arrival in the 6th century transformed this vague category of hidden things into something far more specific and terrifying. The Buddhist cosmology brought with it a fully developed afterlife geography, complete with multiple hells for multiple sins, and these hells required staff. Enter the Indian concepts of yaksha and rakshasa, man-eating demons who served in the cosmic bureaucracy of punishment. These beings merged with the existing Japanese Oni, giving them not just form, but purpose. Through this Buddhist lens, Oni became the wardens of Jigoku, the realm of Buddhist hell. They served Enma Daio, called Emma-o, or Yama, in his original Sanskrit form, the great judge of the dead who sat in his throne room of mirrors that reflected every deed of a person's life. Enma's court was no place of mercy. The souls brought before him faced judgment according to the iron laws of karma, and those found wanting were consigned to one of multiple hells, each with its own particular tortures. And who carried out these tortures? The Oni, transformed from shapeless spirits of concealment into active agents of cosmic justice. The physical form of the Oni crystallized during the Heian period, taking on the iconic features we recognize today. They grew massive, towering over humans, sometimes reaching the height of trees. Their skin blazed in unnatural colors, most commonly crimson red or deep blue, though variants appeared in black, yellow, green, and white. Each color carried its own symbolic weight. Red Oni embodied rage, violence, the hot fury of unchecked emotion. Blue Oni represented something colder, more calculated, the intelligence that plans cruelty with precision. From their heads grew horns, usually one or two, curving like those of cattle. These weren't mere decorative elements but held symbolic power. The horns linked to the ox, while their clothing, a loincloth of tiger pelt, connected to the tiger. Together, ox and tiger formed the Japanese compound Ushitora, which designated the northeast direction on the traditional compass. This direction was considered the Kimon, the demon gate, the unlucky quarter from which evil entered the world. Many traditional Japanese buildings incorporated this belief, featuring L-shaped indentations or cuts in their northeastern corners to confuse and deter Oni attempting entry. Their faces twisted into expressions of malevolence. Wild, unkempt hair, eyes that bulged with fury or glowed like embers, mouths crammed with sharp fangs capable of tearing flesh. Some bore a third eye in their foreheads, granting them supernatural vision. Their hands and feet, ending in razor claws, possessed 3 to 6 digits rather than the standard 5. In one massive fist, the Oni typically carried a kanabo, an iron club studded with spikes, the ultimate symbol of brutal, crushing force. There's a Japanese saying, giving a kanabo to an Oni, meaning to make the already powerful even more dangerous. Yet for all this fearsome iconography, Oni possessed a disturbing ability. They could shapeshift. When it served their purposes, Oni could disguise themselves as attractive humans, harmless animals, or trusted figures. This transformation capacity made them more terrifying than simple monsters. An Oni might appear as the friend offering shelter for the night, the beautiful woman seeking company on a lonely road, the priest blessing your home. Only when it was too late would the horns emerge, the skin shift color, the fangs descend. This shape-shifting ability appears repeatedly in Oni legends, where heroes must see through disguises to identify their demonic foes. In Buddhist cosmology, Oni served multiple functions within the machinery of karmic punishment. Most Oni dwelt in Jigoku, that multi-layered underworld of fire and ice, where they carried out Enma's sentences on souls too wicked for simple reincarnation, but not beyond eventual redemption. The punishments they administered were meticulously calibrated to the crimes. A murderer might be sent to Tokatsu Jigoku, the reviving hell, where Oni beat them to death with iron claws, only for a cool breeze to revive them, so the torture could begin anew. This cycle continued for what seemed like eternity, though technically the sentence had an end, measured in units of time so vast they became meaningless to mortal understanding. Those who had killed and stolen descended to Kokujo Jigoku, the black thread, hell, where Oni marked their bodies with black lines, then sawed them apart along these marks. Liars faced having their tongues torn out, a punishment that became proverbial in Japanese child-rearing. Tell a lie, and Enma will rip out your tongue. Each of Jigoku's 8 great hells specialized in particular torments for particular sins, and the Oni moved between them with brutal efficiency, their superhuman strength ensuring no soul escaped, their magical abilities preventing any hope of rebellion. But the most chilling aspect of Oni existence lay not in what they did to others, but in what they were themselves. According to Buddhist doctrine, Oni were not created as a separate species. They were transformed when a human died whose soul was so corrupted, so steeped in wickedness, that no redemption seemed possible. That soul did not simply pass into hell for punishment. It became part of hell's machinery. It transformed into an Oni, forever bound to inflict on others the suffering it had earned for itself. Even more terrifying, the very worst humans didn't need to wait for death. If someone's heart became sufficiently consumed by evil, by rage, by jealousy, by hatred, they could transform into an Oni while still alive. These living Oni were the ones who appeared most frequently in folklore, terrorizing villages, devouring travelers, spreading disease and calamity. They represented a fundamental warning. Human evil, unchecked, could literally unmake your humanity, turning you into the very monster you feared. Female Oni, called Kijo, emerged particularly from specific emotional states that medieval Japanese society associated with women. Jealousy, especially sexual or romantic jealousy, could trigger transformation. The famous legend of the Hashihime of Uji tells of a noblewoman so consumed by jealousy over her husband's infidelity that she prayed at a shrine for 21 days, asking to become a demon so she could exact revenge. Her wish was granted. She transformed into a Kijo, her appearance shifting from beautiful to monstrous, and she hunted down her husband's lover. Stories like this both reflected and reinforced societal anxieties about female emotion, suggesting that women's feelings, particularly those related to romantic attachment, carried inherent danger. The greatest Oni in Japanese mythology earned their reputations through specific legendary encounters that became foundational stories. Told and retold across centuries, Shuten-dōji stands as perhaps the most famous. His name literally meaning "sake drinking child," a title he earned through his prodigious alcohol consumption, along with the fox spirit Tamamo no Mae and the demon Otakamaru. Shuten-dōji forms the triumvirate of Japan's three great evil yokai, creatures so powerful and malevolent that defeating them required heroes of exceptional virtue and cunning. Shuten-dōji's origins vary depending on which version of his legend you encounter, but most agree he was not born a demon. One popular telling describes him as a boy of supernatural strength and intelligence, born in either Shiga or Toyama provinces over 1,000 years ago. Some versions claim his father was the great dragon Yamata no Orochi, the eight-headed serpent slain by the storm god Susanoo. From birth, this child terrified others. He stayed in his mother's womb for 16 months. When he finally emerged, he already had teeth and hair, could walk immediately, and spoke with the wisdom of a 5-year-old despite being a newborn. Everyone called him a demon child, and at age 6, even his mother abandoned him. Rejected by humanity, the boy entered a temple as a page, but here too he found no peace. During a festival drunk on stolen sake, he put on an Oni mask as a prank, jumping out to scare the other priests. When the night ended and he tried to remove the mask, he discovered it had fused to his face, becoming inseparable from his skin. Horrified and ashamed, now literally wearing the demon form others had always accused him of possessing, he fled into the mountains. There, he lived as a bandit, stealing food and sake from villages, drinking vast quantities to numb his isolation. Over years, his power grew. He attracted other outcasts, criminals, and eventually other demon children, including Ibaraki Doji, who became his chief lieutenant. Together, they and their growing band didn't just become criminals, they transformed into actual Oni, whether through magic, through the darkness in their hearts, or through society's rejection crystallizing into supernatural reality. Shuten-dōji and his followers ceased to be human. They established their stronghold on Mount Oi in a palatial cave, and from there launched raids on the capital of Heian, modern-day Kyoto. Their crimes escalated to the unthinkable. Shuten-dōji and his Oni gang kidnapped noble virgins, forcing them into servitude. When the mood struck, they would slice these captives open, feast on their raw flesh, and drink their blood like sake. The terror reached such heights that Emperor Ichijo commanded the warrior Minamoto no Yorimitsu, along with Fujiwara no Hosho and their retainers, to exterminate the demons. The warriors couldn't simply march up the mountain and attack. Shuten-dōji possessed too much power, his followers too numerous, his magic too strong. Instead, Yorimitsu and his men disguised themselves as wandering Yamabushi, mountain monks. Along their journey, they encountered deities who, recognizing their holy mission, provided them with divine aid, including magical sake called Shinpen Kidokushu, a poison that would seem like normal alcohol to demons. When the disguised warriors reached Shuten-dōji's cave, they claimed to be lost travelers seeking shelter. The great Oni, warned by spies that heroes were coming to kill him, but fooled by the Yamabushi disguise, welcomed them with suspicious hospitality. During the feast that followed, Shuten-dōji boasted of his exploits and drank deeply from the poisoned sake Yorimitsu offered. The demon and his followers fell into drugged stupor. Yorimitsu and his men donned their armor and drew their weapons. They found Shuten-dōji in his chambers, and, with the legendary blade, Dojigiri Yasutsuna, the warrior severed the demon's head. But even decapitation couldn't fully stop the King of Oni. The severed head flew through the air, jaws open, attempting to bite Yorimitsu. Only because the warrior wore multiple helmets stacked on his head did he survive. The head clamped onto the helmets with such force that it dented the metal before finally losing its animation and falling still. Yorimitsu brought the head back to Kyoto for the emperor to inspect. The severed head of Shuten-dōji, along with those of other legendary evil beings, was stored in the treasure house at Uji, serving as proof of the hero's triumph and warning of the very real dangers that lurked in the mountains. The sword that beheaded Shuten-dōji, Dojigiri, is now designated a national treasure, one of Japan's 5 greatest swords under heaven. These legends served multiple functions in Japanese culture. On their surface, they were thrilling adventure stories, good versus evil, heroes overcoming impossible odds. But beneath that surface, they encoded lessons about the dangers of rejection, isolation, and unchecked emotion. Shuten-dōji transformed into a demon, not because he was born evil, but because society rejected him, labeled him monstrous, gave him no path to belonging. His story asks, what responsibility does a society bear for the monsters it creates through exclusion? As centuries passed, the role of Oni in Japanese culture evolved beyond simple villains requiring heroic defeat. During the Edo period, Oni began appearing in more complex contexts. They showed up in protective capacities. Their fierce appearance now turned against other evil forces. Oni faced roof tiles, called Onigawara, adorned buildings, particularly temples and castles, serving the same function as European gargoyles. Their frightening visages scared away evil spirits and bad luck. The Setsubun festival, which began among aristocrats during the Muromachi period, before spreading to common people in the Edo era, transformed Oni from creatures to be destroyed into forces, to be expelled and managed cyclically. This ritual recognized something crucial. Evil, darkness, misfortune, these things cannot be permanently defeated. They're part of existence itself. What matters is not their elimination, but their seasonal expulsion, the regular cleansing of spaces and spirits, the maintenance of boundaries between order and chaos. Modern folklore even developed sympathetic Oni stories. The Red Oni Who Cried tells of a gentle red Oni who desperately wants human friendship. His companion, a blue Oni, hatches a plan. The blue Oni will attack a village, allowing the red Oni to save the humans and earn their trust. The plan works, but the price is high. The blue Oni, now seen as evil, must leave forever, sacrificing his own happiness for his friend's dream. The red Oni achieves what he wanted, but realizes too late what it cost. This reversal, where Oni become capable of love, friendship, and sacrifice, reveals how Japanese culture came to see these beings as more than simple embodiments of evil. This evolution reflects a deeper understanding of what Oni represented all along. They were never just external monsters. They were and are psychological projections, embodiments of everything humans fear about themselves and others. The Oni personifies rage so consuming, it destroys the person feeling it. Jealousy so intense, it transforms the jealous into something inhuman. Greed that devours everything it touches. Pride that cannot tolerate challenge. Fear that sees threats in every shadow. In this sense, every Oni story is about human nature, about the darkness that lives in every heart, waiting for circumstances to call it forth. The colors of Oni encode this psychological dimension. Red Oni represent hot emotions, anger, passion, violence, the feelings that burn and consume. Blue Oni embody cold calculation, cunning, depression, the intelligence turned toward destruction. Black Oni manifest pure evil, the absence of light and hope. Yellow Oni symbolize disease and decay. Green Oni suggest envy and regret. Each color marks a different aspect of human psychological darkness, giving form to feelings we struggle to articulate. In this reading, the transformation of humans into Oni becomes less about supernatural curse and more about psychological truth. Haven't we all known people who seem to transform, whose bitterness or rage or ambition twisted them into something barely recognizable? The Oni legend simply makes this metaphorical transformation literal. It suggests that unchecked negative emotion doesn't just harm us internally. It changes our very nature, making us monstrous to others, even as we remain convinced of our own righteousness. Today, Oni appear throughout Japanese popular culture, in forms their medieval ancestors would barely recognize. In anime like Demon Slayer, Oni are portrayed as tragic figures, former humans cursed with demonic power, struggling between their remaining humanity and their monstrous hunger. In video games, Oni serve as challenging boss battles, their immense strength and magical abilities translated into game mechanics. Fashion brands use Oni imagery to suggest strength, rebellion, authenticity. Oni masks, once used in ritual and theater, now hang as street art, blend into tattoo designs, appear on clothing. This modern reinvention hasn't erased the traditional understanding of Oni. Rather, it's added layers of interpretation. The Oni still functions as a warning about the consequences of losing oneself to destructive emotion, but now it also represents the shadow self, the Jungian concept of the parts of our personality we deny and suppress. Confronting an Oni in this psychological reading means confronting the parts of ourselves we've labeled monstrous, the rage we won't acknowledge, the fear we can't admit, the desires we've buried. The enduring power of Oni mythology lies in this flexibility, this ability to mean many things while remaining distinctly itself, whether viewed as servants of cosmic justice in Buddhist hell, as embodiments of calamity and disease, as transformed humans whose wickedness remade them, or as psychological symbols of our shadow selves. The Oni remains one of Japanese culture's most potent and persistent symbols. From ancient texts to modern anime, from ritual beam throwing to cutting-edge video games, the Oni endures because it speaks to something fundamental about human experience. Our capacity for destructive transformation, our fear of our own darkness, and perhaps, in the most hopeful stories, our possibility for redemption even after we've become monsters. The next time you see an Oni mask, whether in a temple, a festival, a museum, or an illustration, remember, you're looking at more than a demon. You're looking at centuries of belief about human nature, cosmic justice, and the thin line between civilization and chaos. You're looking at a mirror that shows not just what we fear out there in the darkness, but what we fear might be hiding inside ourselves, waiting for the right circumstances to emerge. And maybe, just maybe, you're looking at a reminder that even demons were once something else, and transformation, for better or worse, remains forever possible. If you enjoy discovering the depths of Oni mythology, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the hidden corners of world mythology. What other legendary creatures from Japanese folklore would you like to explore? Let me know in the comments below.